Putting lineups. And a guy's checking out Tony Parker here. What can we expect?
You know,
and Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
He said he certainly followed the rise of Jeremy Lin into a prime-time point guard in this league, and he told me we need to try to limit his penetration. That's where he's most effective, slashing and with the drive and kick. Guys, Lin has certainly been working to improve his outside shot, but sometimes you have to pick your poison, and they'll live with him shooting from outside. Back to you.
All right, Doris.
You know, the Spurs have always been built around Tim Duncan, but the last few years they've added more depth than they used to have early in the Duncan era. And so Greg Popovich is playing 9 or 10 guys. They're very deep. They play together. Excellent passing team. And they've become much more up-tempo than they ever were early in that era.
And here's Bonner from the arc. Gets it to go. Bonner's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And how much do you love to see the big fella knocking down that 3 there, guys?
And with the team getting older, you really need to have more depth, and the Spurs have certainly added that.
Young or old, every team needs depth, but the Spurs have added the right kind of depth. The players that fit into what they do well, and it's a big part of why they still are able to compete at a high level.
Now Mills. Right now averaging 7 points a game. He kicks it to Bonner. And it's Lin with the rebound.
He's far too tentative in the paint, and even more so when the defender is up.
My goodness, he's going to do some damage with dunks like that to himself or the rim, maybe both.
Well, that's a chance he's always willing to take, Steve.
Well, I hope he does continue to take them because that was sensational.
And that was Sprite bringing you the close-up on that big-time play. And good on the basket. Book it. Last game for the Spurs. They picked up the W against Charlotte.
Boy, they were so good offensively in that game. It seemed like they had an open man to go to every time down the floor. Probably wasn't the best defensive effort that we've seen from their opponent.
Well, they should get some of the credit for that. I mean, they threw a few new wrinkles into their game plan, and the defense wasn't ready for it.
And another basket for San Antonio.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
Here's Smith, and that's not going to go. Offense. The second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. And here's Mills. Pass to Green. Blocked. Leonard the pass to Splitter. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. So with Ginobili sitting on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. Green and Leonard out on the perimeter. Splitter is out there with Blair. And it's Mills in at the 1 spot.
Well, what you love about Kevin Martin is just the efficiency offensively. He makes a lot of three-pointers, and he gets to the line at will. He's quick, and he develops angles on his drives where he draws a lot of contact, forcing the officials to call fouls.
Smith dishes to Delfino. Back to Smith for the 3. Gets it to go. And it's a 7-point Rocket lead.
Well, he wasn't going to miss that. I mean, they were way too late to get to him out there.
Feeds it to Blair. It's stolen by Morris. And now running it up the court. Martin pushing it up. That's good. Martin's got his second bucket of the night. And going back to what you said about Kevin Martin, Steve, 2 seasons ago, he was 3rd in the league in three-pointers made. And Clark, he was 1st in the league in free throws made. What in the world's happened to this guy?
Yeah, that's the most unusual combination you'll see statistically, I think, Kevin. You don't get fouled much when you're shooting from the outside, but he has a tremendous knack when he's healthy and at his best for getting into the paint and drawing fouls, too.
White is checked in for the Rockets. Jones comes in for Carlos Delfino. Then for the Spurs, Boris Diaz checked in for Splitter. Gary Neal comes in for Daniel Green. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Patrick Mills. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Hi, Kevin. clutch in their last time out against the Mavericks, well, he had an off game. He dropped in a handful of points, and he was a mainstay at the free throw line, getting a fair amount of his points off of fouls. He shot a very low percentage from the field, uncharacteristically low. We'll be curious to see how he responds here in this one, guys.
Doris, thanks. And Clark, we all know he wants to come out here and move on.
And you have to, Kevin. I mean, last game was last game. You got to forget about it. Tonight's a whole nother story. And we'll be watching how he approaches it.
That's one of the biggest things in the NBA. 82 games, you're going to have some bad ones. So how you respond to adversity really defines you as a player.
From deep. Rebounded by the Spurs. This is the second time they've matched up against Houston.
And they won that game, guys, in large part because of the defense played by their bigs. They turned away more than their share of shots.
And I thought it got into the other guys' heads as the game went on. I mean, they weren't taking it to the basket nearly as aggressively.
Offensive rebound.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
44 seconds left to play in the first half. Leonard kicks to Joseph. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Neal. Rejected by Martin. Good. Martin's got 6.
A beautiful finesse move right there. I mean, you've got to love that finger roll finish.
And Joseph kicks to Neal. Passes it to Blair. Spurs passing it around. Joseph, the pass to Leonard. Neal launches it. It's rebounded by Houston. Martin's got 4 rebounds in this game. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
Boy, that was a surprising result, wasn't it, guys? Because on paper, it didn't even look like a fair matchup.
Well, you know what? That's part of why we enjoy sports and you play the games, because it definitely didn't turn out the way.
Well, one thing you hear about Kevin McHale with the Rockets, he's never afraid to call out his players. He's totally honest with them, and I think they appreciate that. You know, maybe a demanding style of coaching, but when you're honest with your players, I think they'll respect that, and that's exactly what happened with McHale in Houston.
There's the feed to Blair. Ginobili outside. Top of the key. That one goes. Count it. Ginobili's got 4 this quarter. Houston in the lead. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. And that's the 3rd of 4 straight played at home.
And, you know, for the Wizards, that's a game they'd really like to have.
Patterson plays down low with the sheet. Here's Smith. The shot. Steve from Ginobili. And Coach McHale, if his players aren't producing, Steve, even the stars, he'll show them to the bench. He has no problem with it.
No, you know, in Houston last year it was interesting, Kevin. They had so many combinations of players that I think some of the players actually complained that they weren't getting consistent minutes. But the problem on that team was that nobody stood out. You know, nobody really jumped to the forefront and took over the team. That's why they were about 500 and, you know, on the outside of the playoffs looking in.
On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Manu Ginobili, their backcourt. Steven Jackson is out there with Blair, and it's Diaw in at the center. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And this is what the schedule looks like for Houston. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. And that'll be the 3rd of the 4 straight at home. Lynn dishes to Smith. The 3 is launched. Yes! And a nice assist from Lynn. Lynn's got 6 assists now in the game. Parker with it. Ginobili outside. From the arc. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. He feeds it to Smith. 3-pointer. Can't get it to go. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. It's Ginobili with the drive. That's good. Now just a 2-point Rocket lead.
You know, if their plan was to keep going inside a ton, it sure has paid off. I mean, it seems like every bucket they get is in the lane.
Well, no reason to take an outside shot if you're scoring at will from inside the paint.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for San Antonio. Here's Martin. The basket good off the assist from Lin. Lin's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Spurs trail by 3. Parker outside. Ginobili up top to tie it up. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. 21 points for Ginobili.
Right now, the defense needs to do a better job of closing out on this guy. He's heating up from outside.
Martin kicks to Lin. Back to Martin. Smith outside. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Martin. Shoots over Leonard. And it's Martin missing.
Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that one.
Ginobili with the 3. Here's Blair. Takes the lead. And the Spurs lead by 2.
Well, not only does he excel at getting those offensive rebounds, but he's really good getting putbacks and layups off of those boards.
The jump hook. And there's the foul. It's on Clutch. That's foul number 2 for him.
Not much doubt about that over-the-back call.
Yeah, he was all over his back that time. Looked like he was going for a piggyback ride.
Ashik has checked in for Smith. Steven Jackson checked in for San Antonio. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. So it's a narrow victory for the Rockets, pulling it out.